The Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you for listening. If in fact you are, um, we are here. I am here. I am here with Aliza Freedman. I hope I said your name right this time.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
It's one of those things. It's going to have to be. You're going to have to bear with me. Like I said, I could ruin the name Bob if it was possible. But welcome. You're from your site sizzles.com is your website, and we are also a Master Networks member. And I'm Tina Campbell. I'm the New York and Connecticut regional partner of Master Networks, and we're here because I wanted to talk to Aliza about her business and just her experience of what it was like coming into Master Networks. And it's been very short time, correct?
Just a few months.
Just
Yeah,
a
just a
few
few.
months. Wow. Because it's funny because I think it's just the time is weird right now, and I feel like I've seen you a lot longer than that. But I also you're very nice and easy to talk with, so it's one of those ones I think people probably feel like they know you.
That's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, absolutely. So let's talk about I love the name of your company, but also I like what your kind of like your tagline is on your website. If you could tell me about your site Sizzles, and then tell me about that tagline that you have.
Yeah. So I own a boutique branding, marketing, and web design firm. I've had it for about 3.5 years. It's all mine, all mine. And I came up with the business name actually because a whole lot of domain names were already taken.
Yeah,
Wanted something with the word site in it. And as I thought about it, I was thinking about bacon. Bacon just came to my mind
I know. I love
because,
your logo. It's like bacon and eggs.
yeah, because who doesn't love bacon? Um, bacon markets itself. It smells good. It looks good. It tastes good. It's got a kind of a cachet
Yeah,
that
as soon as you think of it, you start like you go back to that, right? Unless of course you're a vegetarian.
well, I still think that they long for bacon. I do.
We'll break in some comments about that, but go ahead.
But yeah, so it really was the concept was what is appealing to so many people without any effort. It's just effortless.
Yeah,
Boom.
love it.
And your site Sizzles was born.
I love it. And so tell me more about what it does. What do you do for people? What do you do for your clients?
So first, I make a lot of time for everybody that I talk to, whether they're clients or not, as a matter of fact, because I don't think you can really get to know anybody at all in terms of the kind of person they are, and what do they enjoy, and what do they like to do, and what are they good at, without really getting to know somebody. So I spend a lot of time doing that and kind of you know, pulling some story out of them sometimes. Some people are talkers like me. Some people are more reserved. And so I really do spend, a couple of hours with somebody to see if they feel like we're a good fit. And so what are we fitting for? I do branding, marketing, and web design for small businesses, for startups, for people who are changing careers, for people who left corporate, for existing businesses that they know they need something.
They need a presence, right?
And even if they have a presence, their presence usually is not such a present.
Right.
It's marketing done wrong is a disaster.
Yep.
Um,
It's money down the drain, right?
and it's often a deterrent. And the last thing any business wants to do is turn somebody off before they even hear about
I know, yeah.
what the business can do for them. So
Absolutely.
in a nutshell, I find out their story and then we tell the story together and we tell it loud and proud.
So do you have an ideal client?
I do. I mean, an ideal client is somebody, I would say I have two kinds of ideal clients. I have the ones that are in touch with the fact that they need something or they're starting something and they have some really kind of great, exciting ideas, but hasn't gelled yet into a brand and into something that feels like they can really ownership is huge when you're
Yes.
doing something, when you're talking about something, when you're sharing something. So that's kind of one kind of client. The other kind of client is more reserved and a little bit more challenging, but equally rewarding because they may not have made the time. They're busy working in their business and not on their business, which is
Right.
such a well-known phrase.
Right.
And they don't have the expertise. And at some point they realized it. And that's where I swoop in and just revamp everything.
And,
And
and, save,
them,
and save the day.
I save the day. I give them a facelift, a relatively painless facelift.
I was
And we have,
gonna say, can I
well,
have
yeah, I'm about to brand myself really soon. But and we have fun. I have so much fun. And by the end of it, almost always my clients and I are buds. I just love it. Love it.
That's awesome. Well, you get to know them really well, right? Because it's almost like you have to be vulnerable,
Yes.
first. And then because that's what you're going, if you if you're matching the person's voice to this, whatever the site is, whatever this marketing is, that's that's who they will attract. And
Right.
if it's not, apples to apples, you could really like, right, as you said, marketing can just be detrimental because you're not attracting the people you want or your
Right.
ideal client or the people that are going to gel with you, right?
Right.
That's
Exactly.
I mean, I was at a workshop yesterday. I think I was telling you before that Chaz Wilson, CEO of Master Networks, he did a marketing to millions yesterday. This is all day. It was so good. And you know what? I'm not just saying that. I think I was telling you, I was telling him, I actually texted Chaz Wilson this morning and I was like, thank you. I had a huge epiphany. I just needed to get clear, really, really. And it was like, oh my goodness, I've been doing this. Like, why am I keeping things that I'm doing separate? There's synergy between it. I need to put that together. So that was really good, by the way. But I'm sure that it's something that you live every day, marketing to millions.
I mean, it's something that I live even when I'm not marketing because authenticity and knowing yourself well it's a gift to you, first of all, and it's a gift to everybody else. I think the best thing that we can do in our business is know ourselves and then give it away and with no holds barred and no expectation, but just, in service. It's
Right.
just such a
Oh,
it's
absolutely. I
power.
talk a lot about I have a whole thing about servant leadership. I mean, we have that in our Master Networks members. There are so many servant leaders. It's unbelievable. And that's really sometimes an overused term. But I'm not kidding. I mean, if you look up the definition, it is what, many of the Master Networks members are. And I actually wanted to ask you about, if you don't mind, about your experience of, coming to Master Networks, as you said, just a few months ago. And, what was that like? Because I haven't talked to you, so I haven't found this out. So I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, this is an expose. So,
It's
I
like,
mean, it's been
what would you do if?
yeah. It's really been to say that it's been transformative doesn't even say it. It doesn't describe it strongly enough. I say Master Networks found me.
Could you
You know,
so one thing I did hear was a little bit of that story somebody said about how you found us or we found you.
yeah. I ask, like, ask and ye shall seek and ye shall find. So I've had this business, like I said, for several years, and it's been chugging along. And then the pandemic hit, and everything went black, as it did for just about everybody. And I'm a people person first and foremost. I actually took a test. Somebody gave me this high level personality kind of professional test,
Yep.
and it turned out this was like I thought this was interesting, at least to me. I was like 80% relationship based.
Mhm.
That above
Yeah,
anything else.
me too.
You too. I think that's probably true for many people in this networking group. Yeah, we need to change the word from networking to something else because
Yeah,
it's
did you hear me say that? I was talking about
no.
that. Oh, okay. I said that, I think it was this morning. I was like, if
Oh,
anybody could come up with a different word, because I think networking has kind of a negative almost connotation nowadays. And I tell people we're not your dad's networking
yeah.
organization or your mom's, we're not. So,
No,
and
whole
it's
new animal.
all relationship based. But
Yeah.
so
So
did you
the pandemic hit, I was
Yeah.
doing my thing and then realized personally I was starting to sink. I was lonely. I'm married, love my husband, I have kids, but I need people. And so that was kind of job one, is how am I going to find people that I can talk to consistently? And I wasn't, it was kind of like a theoretical question. And then I do my own marketing, and there's nothing like free marketing. So I put my business card up on the local bulletin board here in town, and somebody saw it and called me. And I thought it was a scam, actually. But then I realized it wasn't a scam. And then I was only skeptical about the networking group. Like, pretty sure
Yeah.
this exists.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this exists, but pretty sure I don't want to join. I've done tons of networking in my life. I mean, 15 years of networking, all different kinds, chambers of commerce, private groups, groups that insist that you show up every week. And you bring at least 5 referrals for each person in the group, or you get like a spanking.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of it, and I was really not looking to do networking per se, but I decided I'd come to a free meeting, virtually. I mean, I'm sitting in my desk chair. I don't even have to get dressed. And that was a
We hope
plus.
you're dressed.
I am half dressed. But no, I'm dressed. But I liked the meeting. I liked the format. It was very different and felt very relation-y. And then Rick Gabrielli, who's our area director,
Yeah.
we actually they had a mixer the next week after I went to this one virtual meeting, and I was still very skeptical, really was. It seems in my life, the things I've been most skeptical about have been the things that have paid off. Like,
So
when I,
that should be your litmus test.
yeah, right. Like, if my gut is telling me no, maybe there's a reason I should absolutely still consider it. So anyway, Rick and I talked for quite a while. We closed the place, and I went home thinking he was way too good to be true. No way am I doing this. Thanks, but no thanks. And my husband said, I really think you should try it. And I said, no.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And my husband tends to be very skeptical. So, and we've done lots of networking together. So he knows the ropes.
Okay.
Anyway, what wound up happening is I said, okay, fine. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it as big as it can be done. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste any kind of fee. I'm doing it. And I signed up and went all in, like head first into the pool. And it has been transformative.
Wow. You gave me goosebumps.
It's crazy. It's like my new religion. I mean, it really is. I was on a Zoom with somebody else, another leader in the group, and we were talking about drinking the Kool-Aid. And she said she had just said at a meeting that morning, yeah, I did drink the Kool-Aid, and that, can I have seconds?
So I want to dissuade anyone. So we are not a cult.
No, we are not a cult. We are not. No.
We are. What would you say that we are? I think of us as a family, only because a couple of things that you can be authentic, you could be vulnerable, right, about what you need in your business, and that people actually want to help each other. Like and the amount of time that I've heard people say to each other, "How can I help you? How can I support you?" And they mean it and they do it. And that's the thing. It's not like just lip service. It's not. We've had incredible things go on the last couple of years since we went virtual, where we all really became a community. But I mean, it goes beyond, and we always say this. That's kind of our tagline. It's like, building, building a legacy beyond the business. So that, I had someone call today that is moving from, is in one of our chapters, is moving from Westchester, New York to Colorado, and wanted to know all about our family members in Colorado, right? So they're going to go out there. And so I was able to connect them with, Mark Ryan, who's my friend and does what I do in the Colorado region. And he's originally from New York. So it's great. So it's like this kind of thing of like here passing off, like
Yeah.
here, go see these people because you're going to find this culture. You're going to find it here. You're going to find it there with him. And it's like what I'm amazed at is that, why people wouldn't be looking for this in this time when, I think people have realized that, being, you hear what you said before, authentic, you hear what people say. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm going off. You,
No, no. I mean, you asked how I would describe it, and the first word that came to my mind was family. However, I hope my family never sees this, but here's what I'm about to
they
say.
might.
Yeah, it's better in some ways. It's better because you
Well,
can you can choose essentially who you want to know in this national group of thousands of people. You can stay connected to the people that feel right. You can say, we'll stay in touch kind of at a distance to some of the people that you may not exactly
drive with you.
but we all have a common interest. So in a sense, it's better. It's like family plus.
Well, right, because you can't, you could pick, like you said, who you want. But the other thing, do you agree that it's that we're learning based, that has a big part of it?
I was thinking that as you were talking before, which is kind of the different baskets that are filled up for me in this group. There's mentorship. And I mean, there's formal mentorship and education going on here, but there's also the people that you meet who may or may not do something similar or related to what you do, but you can learn so much from somebody who's done it or somebody who has skills that you don't have, who I don't know. I just feel like already in just a few months, there are so many people I've met that I admire and that I would absolutely refer people to because they're complete pros and they're honest and real. They have integrity. And I just feel like the learning goes, so much of this goes as deep and as broad as you want it to.
Yeah.
You get out of it as much as you want.
Yeah. I mean, I always say that it's like I think this came from Gary LaRue, who's our regional partner in Texas, but he always says it's net working, not net guaranteeing.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So you really are putting whatever it is you put in. I mean, you could just go and sit, we have the 1 hour weekly meetings. You could just go and sit there, or you could say, okay, you know what? That was interesting what somebody said. I want to follow up with them for just a 30-minute face-to-face on Zoom or whatever, a cup of coffee, wherever you're comfortable. But, that's the thing is that, it's like, it's active listening. And I think that's also being learning based and not transactional.
Yeah.
You're listening to when people talk.
Yeah, I know when I give a referral or when I get a referral that it's a really solid one. I'm excited to talk to the person or to pass the person on to somebody because I already know, in a sense, there's been a vetting process. Like either somebody thinks that this other person and I are a really great fit potentially, or I feel that about two parties. And it's just so much better than you walk into a chamber of commerce meeting, and half the room is drunk and you're trying to, everybody's trying to throw the business cards at you and like speed talk. It's like speed dating. And this is so the opposite of that.
Yeah. And, and it's interesting with the chambers because we really consider ourselves like brother or sisters to them because we're like feeders, we're all trying to do the same thing, which is to really promote and I think support free enterprise, small business, right? Local business. I hate using local business.
Yeah.
I don't want to put any limit on somebody. So it's like local business. And it's just, one of the things that's interesting when we went virtual, we were able to have people in our region, which is the New York, Connecticut region, but we have people honestly from all over the place. I don't know if you're aware that we have 2 gentlemen from the Netherlands that are in our Long Island chapter. We have a bunch of Canadians. We have Bodil in Upper Rockland, who is, Mid Rockland chapter. She's from She lives in Scotland. She beams in from Scotland weekly.
I
So
spoke to her actually. I
yeah,
spoke to her over the holidays.
it's
What
cool,
like
right?
what a gift that you can talk to any I mean, I can't think of a better marketing story than what I'm about to say. You can talk to anybody, anywhere, as many times as you want, included in the little fee that you pay, and you're in your desk chair. Like,
Zooming around the world,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
it's really interesting, what's going on, and, some people would say, "Well, I'm a local, I'm a local chiropractor, or I have a brick and mortar store. Why
Mhm,
do I need people that are outside?" The thing what I want people to take from this is that it's not just, it's absolutely the business and the return on investment, but that return on investment could be an idea that sparks
mhm,
you. It
mhm,
could be so having people from other places is helpful even if you have a brick and mortar within a geographical area. That's why we kept the names of all of our chapters actually have the town that we're kind of centric to in the name of the chapter. It may have people from different areas, but it's people that want to do business in that local area at least.
mhm.
That's kind of like why we kept it that way. We're kind of doing this from by the seat of our pants. Just trying to really think of how is this best? How to make it work?
Yep, and serve so many different, needs or wants, right? I mean, I can't if you ask 25 people what they get out of this group, you'd get 25 different answers. I really think that.
And it's funny because we're actually putting out a survey like soon. That's just going to be like, what else can we do for you?
Mhm,
Because it's always important. The late Dave Jenks, my business partner and dean of Master Networks University, used to say, feedback is the breakfast of champions. you
mm,
know get feedback, find out what people. And that's why, Elisa, I was like, when I heard from Rick Gabrielli and he said, wow, she really has a great story. I was like, I wanted you to, to see if you, I hadn't talked to you about it before, wanted you to come on and talk to me and get to know you a little bit and have everybody else get to know you, but also just to say thank you for, jumping in and being all in.
well, I can't imagine how do I say this? I feel a little sad for the the people who are not taking better advantage. There are some, obviously, in life you meet
Yeah,
people who X,
yeah,
Y, and Z, not everybody's the same or has the same
yeah,
enthusiasm.
yeah.
But I make it a priority. I have meetings just about every single day. Generally like 2 or 3 a day. 3 seems to be the average at the moment. Um, face-to-face meetings where I'm here and the person I'm talking to, like you, is there. They're not thinking about another thing. It's a captive audience for both of us.
Right.
We're not in a coffee shop. We're not in a room of other people who may be loud. We're
Yeah,
literally one on one. And
yeah.
you could pay a whole lot of money for meetings like that. A whole lot of money.
I know. And one thing just to like tell people is that, this is something that, when we've grown, we grew. I'm really bad with math. So I thought we grew 50%, but it turns out we doubled. So that means that we grew 100%. I didn't realize that. Because somebody told me recently, like, by the way, Tina, I'm like, oh, but it sounds so like, oh, we grew 100, almost like that's a boast that but it's true. We grew. We're up to close to in the tri-state area, in the regions that we have in the tri-state areas, we're 600 people. You
Wow.
know, it's a
Wow.
lot of people, but it's a lot of learning based, very similar. Not everybody, but pretty much it's all of us, that are learning based and want to, create. I look at it create not just business but opportunities.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
excitement. As a business owner, a lot of us are solopreneurs, and it can be lonely out there even without the pandemic and all that's been going on and the feelings of isolation at times.
yeah.
So, long before,
I say Stacy's saying hi to us. So if you haven't met Stacy the Maximizer, then you have to have she has interesting story too. She's cool.
I have not met Stacy the Maximizer, but I'll put her at the top of my list. I like that. Um, what was I just saying? Oh, the feelings of isolation and like where do you go for support? Where do you go for some fun? How do you stay around the fire? That's a big, big concept for me, as in my own life and business, but also for my clients. It's a mindset about staying fresh and enthusiastic and continuing momentum.
Right.
And COVID kind of went like,
Yeah.
squeal the brakes. And so how do you hit the gas again? Like, where do you get the gas at this point? And I
Right.
just feel like, if I were to kind of sum up my experience in this group in a sentence, I guess it would be, not only have I grown my business, I mean, substantially in a few months. So not only has that happened, but I feel like oh, this is going to sound so like, I feel a little bit reborn. That this is another chapter in my life and in my work. And it's kind of proof that I'm in the right place, doing the right things at the right time.
Wow. Well, I won't, I don't want to, you have to get back to work, but one of the things I just wanted to say was when I heard Chaz Wilson talking about this 10 years ago, well, actually 9 years ago, Dave and I had our business, freeenterprisewarriors.com, and he was called by Chaz to kind of come up and become the, the, uh, the dean of Master Networks University and create the intellectual property with Chaz. It's like, I heard it, I saw it, and they showed me what it could be. And I was just like, yeah, how do I do this? I don't
Yeah.
even know how to do it. And just walk around and talk to people and transfer the vision. But the fact that what we've really have has come to fruition and it's still growing is just amazing to me. But it's really like a bunch of people that just saw that this could be a movement
Yeah. Yeah.
versus an organization, a real movement towards, free enterprise, local business, built on relationship and people that do like each other and trust each other. Cause that's a thing, when, how do how do you get to the know, like, and trust faster? Learn together. It's amazing. It will bring, if you learn together,
Yeah.
it brings that trust together faster. And the speed of the trust is the speed of the referral, you know?
Couldn't say it better myself. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I really, really thank you. Like I said, I didn't expect this. I didn't ask you to. You could tell people that I didn't ask you to, but boy, I'm glad you did.
Well, boy, I'm glad I did. This has just been, and this is the very beginning. And to quote one of my favorite songs, "The best is yet to come."
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know what? I want to say one thing. This is you did this. You manifested this and you jumped all in. And thank you to your husband. Thank you to you for, doing that. You could see that's the results.
Yeah.
If you sit back and you think, oh, this is a meeting, oh, it's a chapter, it's boring, whatever. Listen, you're going to get nothing out of it. But the power is in the energy behind what you bring to it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. It's
Oh,
I've been holding it in, so now I get to share it.
that's great. So how
Thank
do
God.
people, how do people contact you? I'd like to give you like some kudos. How do people contact you for if they want branding work done or website work or what else?
Sure. So, thank you. Best two ways to get me. You can certainly take a look at my website. I have a contact page. Obviously, you can shoot me questions or, just say hello, and you can reach me that way. You can get me at my email, which is ALIZA. It's my first name, obviously. Aliza at yoursitesizzles.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, I always make time. I just always make time to talk to people.
Great. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. We're going to have some snow here in the Northeast. So everybody stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you guys. It's almost the weekend, but we'll see everybody next week in our chapter meetings. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
I'll see you all soon.
Thank you so much, Tina.